Today we will talk regarding cases of AI use by government, by
Okay.
companies, by legal entities. Yeah. So, and what opportunities and what implications, particularly legal implications, we can have as per such use by government, by companies, by ourselves. So I will present myself quite briefly. I'm a UK qualified solicitor and I have experience of working in different legal companies like DLA Piper, like Dentons, like SV Partners, and many, many more. I graduated from Queen Mary University of London with degree in computer and communications law. I wrote a book on IT law and launched my law firm, certified in data privacy and data protection. So today I want to talk regarding cases of AI use and some legal implications of such cases and what legal issues we should consider or we might consider or we do not consider but they will be applicable for particular cases. So benefits of AI use for companies. Definitely, companies would benefit on increase of sales if they use AI, for example, for selling, for sharing, for marketing clients. Also, companies will benefit on consumer behavior forecasting because they can understand how consumer is dealing and they can make product recommendations. So for example, when your customer is searching for a particular product, it would be a suggested advertisement with lower price, for example, or better proposal. Actually, AI would also benefit on automation of work. It can also help detect fraud as such. It can help with personalized advertising for particular customer. It can understand the particular attitude of customers. And in such way, it would straight away deal with marketing messaging, with proper marketing messaging for such customer. Actually, one more benefit is customer service, while telephone chatbot, transferring and cross-transferring data, updating files, providing predictive analysis. So actually, there are lots of AI benefits, and probably you already know them. Some of them you know, some of them not. But let's see how companies are using these benefits and what particular use cases we can see and how AI might be used. Because it depends certainly on company, and you can say like huge companies, yeah, they can develop, they have R&D departments, they can develop own application and work on in such way. However, small companies and medium companies, they are also they can benefit of AI as well. So it can be AI as a service. So some platforms, they are already providing AI as a service for deployment of particular applications. So if you are a medium company in any particular area, we will actually later we will discuss which areas are applicable for such particular application and for such particular development. However, if you are a medium-sized company, you can certainly develop, deploy application on AI as a service, or you can benefit regarding ready-to-use solution. So you can enjoy possibilities of the ready-to-use solutions which are on the market as such. And there are lots of such. What I want to add to this particular point is that there are different level of AI solutions. Some of them are low level. Just for example, you put picture and you receive reply like yes or no. Some of them are of high level. For example, like predicting fraud. So it is like numerous steps and numerous procedures which should be undertaken by AI to make conclusion. So again, it depends of your goal, it depends of your needs of the company. Next, regarding use cases, I want to a bit to expand on how companies are using particularly AI inside the companies, how they are using, how they might use if they are not using, like in day-to-day actual activities. First of all, it is CRM systems. they are already enhanced on account of AI. So with the use of artificial intelligence, some CRM systems may provide provide good leads and provide good management of clients which you have in company. So sometimes you can develop, if you are a huge company, you can develop your own advancement, but sometimes you can just buy ready to use product and that's it. For financials, it is very good and very interesting case because artificial intelligence is used for financial institutions a lot, and banks, insurance companies, different financial institutions, they are using AI. For example, BT Bank, the use case is like for mortgage assessment, for mortgage offer. So AI can understand who is the customer and whether he is or she is suitable for mortgage or not. So, and then as per such assessment of AIs, it make conclusion. And in such way, it is mostly used in several banks. However, it is not the only case. Loans, the same assessment, different stuff. For comply, in the UK, there is a huge comply advantage, which is used as AI platform also. Marketing. It is very interesting topic for companies because companies can benefit regarding marketing and sales. They can understand with AI how customers are looking for their products, how customers are understanding where to find the product, what particular feature they are looking for. So you can deliver your marketing strategy, which is tailored to your customers' needs. And in such way, you can benefit compared to competitors, what you are offering. And it is a very interesting question we will discuss a bit later. Then it would be sometimes even unfair because you can compete in an unfair way by, for example, proposing some additional features, particularly which your customers is looking for. Another area, logistics. It is a huge range of applications of AI in logistics because it is for delivery, for time of delivery. There are numerous cases when AI used for calculating how soon the particular product, what is the best way to transfer particular product, to ship a particular parcels of it is for regular users. However, for companies, it is also applicable. It is how to arrange logistics so you to be time efficient, cost efficient, plus so it to be efficient for the company at all. So there are lots of solutions for airplanes and for transfers of different parcels for delivery services. So logistic is one of the topics which are quite heavily enabled by AI technologies already. Last one, data management. Actually, yeah, lots of databases, they can be processed through AI, and AI can enhance management of any data for particular use. So it was like a brief overview of use cases, how companies may use AI for the benefit. So to give you idea how your particular company may benefit either on account of your own solution with AI application or on account of any solution which is of third parties, but you can buy as a service, you can buy as product and work with it or on it. It depends on the situation. So next is I would like to proceed with types of AI solutions because we should consider we should understand and consider several types of AI, how it is used, and main benefits which it can provide. And some cases how companies are using AI. So for example, first one is process automation. Next, we will discuss data analysis and finally engaging with customers. So let's start with process automation. So I would like to probably you know already yet that AI can help with process automation, with making process delivered automatically on all stages. However, I want to stop on some particular companies and how they are using this particular feature of AI. So firstly, I would like to start with Domo. It is AI for business dashboards. Their clients are such huge companies as eBay, Microsoft, Salesforce. So they are using benefits of Domo, which analyze business information and provide analytical background for understanding. Another one is duplex voice on your behalf. So it is use of AI, which can on your behalf order some particular stuff, book some particular hotel, rent car, like do anything. So it actually helps you a lot with different day-to-day regular stuff. Also, another example of process automation is Ramos Self-Driving Car. It is developed by Google. They started in California with self-driving cars. Probably not a lot of news were in this regard, and lots of people were discussing even legal implications. Again, we will talk a bit later on some legal applications and legal background of such solutions. Another one type of AI benefit and AI application is data analysis. Again, there are lots of applications and lots of benefits how it might be used. However, first one I would like to stop is General Electric's Predix. Very interesting solution because it analyzes the state of your equipment. So given some sensors, we have Internet of Things, we have it at the moment, and everyone knows that some equipment has sensors, some equipment has inside systems to control, but they are using AI for analyzing the state of equipment, so to maintain equipment in time, to repair equipment when it is required, to predict when maintenance would be required, so to manage equipment so efficiently that you don't need to care about any faults, any repair, any failure of equipment. So it actually helps a lot for huge manufacturing companies. Very close to this particular company is also Mindshare. They are also dealing with equipment, just a bit differently. They just tracking. It's developed actually by Siemens, and they are tracking like not repair and maintenance mainly, but equipment as such. Data analysis also applicable for nanotech AI, because in nanotechnology there are lots of applications how laser can treat surface, for example, and how AI is used in such cases. So it is used to understand, like, for example, which particular parameters of laser and laser system should be for particular result. So AI, only probably right now, AI can resolve these tasks because there are a huge amount of information which should be analyzed, huge amount of combinations and parameters which can be mixed together, and only AI at the moment can analyze the result and predict the result which we would have as per such. So application of AI in nanotechnology is very innovative and very promising solution. Pharmaceutical analysis, another one application which is very nice and very promising for companies, because there are lots of combinations. For example, like vitamins. We have vitamins, but some of them are suitable with other vitamins. Some of them are not. Some of them should be in one particular combination and concentration, another one not. So all companies in pharmaceutical industry right now are searching on that account. Another data analysis, like which all of us use and know, is like Facebook deep text. They are analyzing text regarding particular what you wrote and which auditory it should be targeted. Deep face, what is on the picture. They even use deepfakes to detect and prohibit some pictures on ethics and different issues. Interesting application is IBM Debatex because it's recently developed, and it has very interesting thing behind, because it can analyze debating process. It can argue on account of particular debate, and the results showed that it is very progressive solution for particularly for debates. If to say briefly, it was regarding processing and analyzing data. However, as I told at the beginning, companies may also benefit regarding engaging with customers. Like huge amount of examples. One of them is Optius. It's AI for sale enablement. So they are enabling sale you can use as customer for this service, and it is very beneficial. Alibaba is known. They are using in Amazon. They are mostly similar in terms of use of AI, because they are benefiting on account of your search. They make your search very suitable to your needs. So, for example, if you're looking for particular features, they try to make it immediately suitable and immediately fit your needs. GD also company which is using, it's Chinese company which is using and benefiting on account of AI. Microsoft, you probably know about even Skype using AI and trying to integrate Office 365. So lots of solutions have already, Microsoft solutions has already inside AI. So legal risks. Regarding legal side of this particular use. So my legal risk is, for example, if we are talking regarding contract, it's like contract commitment validity. So whether, for example, contract is valid if it is made on behalf of AI or with the use of AI. Because no, there is no particular regulations right now, and there is no particular answer to this particular question. Main question concerns any representations, warranties, and covenants. Because as probably you know, this issue with self-driving cars raised numerous legal questions whether any warranties would be presented. If such, for example, car would break or car would make any crash, who would be responsible? And actually, in this regard, I want to stop to this question because it is very tricky one. If you think about that, let's imagine who can be responsible for that. Like the person who developed that AI, it can be. The person who tested, it also can be. The person who trained AI, because training AI means that AI used particular set of data for training. So the person who supplied this data, the person who trained it, can be also responsible. Owner of AI solution can be also responsible and might be responsible for this particular issue. The owner of hardware, so all complex of it, he can be also responsible for this. So there is no clear right now answer who is responsible for the particular damage happened and for a particular anything tort or any situation which has happened with the use of AI. It is just self-driving car is just one example, but there are numerous examples. Sometimes we clearly see a level of liability and level of responsibility, but sometimes not. Yet some issues are rising. Also indemnities, which indemnities like a company which is using AI can provide for clients, because AI is learning itself, so it is very difficult to indemnify and limit liability, because probably companies would opt for limiting, because it is very difficult to live without liability if your AI is learning and doing something on your behalf just without your control. Personal data, it is like hot topic in Europe on account of GDPR. So by the AI using personal data and how it is used, and sensitive data, even more crucial than personal data. IP rights, very interesting question, because sometimes AI form any object of IP rights. So who is the owner? It is also legal risk. It is also a real question. Competition and antitrust issues. I would say for companies, it is even one of the main points to consider. Although no one right now is like talking about this particular issue, but if you are using AI, if you are dealing in such a way to make unfair competition, because for example your AI noticed that one particular client wants like chair with like chair of green color, and you are using your AI just to make it suitable, and you are showing that you have green color chair, it's becoming unfair competition, which concerns competition law, competition regulation in particular country. Again, it is very difficult to talk regarding particular country in our time, but it is still like applicable. And antitrust issues, because some companies, they merge in other companies, and we have right now time when huge IT companies, they are monopoly, and it should be dealt by the government to regulate that. And finally, compliance. Probably there are no like proper regulations right now, but you still need to deal with compliance, because you need to understand particular regulations what you have at the moment, and whether, for example, in banking area, in insurance area, or in finance, whether your AI use would be compatible and would be in compliance with that regulations. So legal implications, it's like we talked a bit on some of them. It's like attribution of loss or damage caused by AI to someone. It's also criminal liability, because it might be, and in some countries even legal entities can be liable via criminal law. It's like regulation framework on training, on testing, because right now there are no such regulations, but probably some advocacy and some companies should be started to promote that such regulatory framework is still required. Although I know that IT companies, they would suggest not to have regulatory, but for this particular moment, probably it would be a bit required to have understanding of background. It's personal data, ethical issues, discrimination issues, because AI may be trained in such a way that you cannot control, and it can discriminate some particular groups of people, especially given data we have right now in social media or in general in internet. And insurance. I want to stop at this point, because if you are dealing with AI and if you are considering some particular questions, probably insurance can be a very good solution for you, because insurance can allow you to limit your liability to particular measure, to particular amount. So at the moment, I would say that insurance is like one of the best way to deal with such issues.
Liability.
Yeah.
So I was actually going to come to that as a question.
Mm-hmm.
In order for the insurance industry to work, they need to have a priced risk analysis in terms of what they will be insuring, so they can get reinsured as well in the consortiums. So my question is possibly, who will be in charge of deciding the risk factors? And are there any cases that you have seen where insurance companies are not able to price the risk, or they miscalculated the risk and there were retributions and results?
Yeah, thank you, because very interesting question. We analyzed it even regarding insurance, because we had one client which were dealing with this issue, and we wanted to ask for insurance for this particular case. So it is very difficult at the moment to convince any insurance company to make such decisions. Such a decision for particular insurance. Yet it's possible to get insurance for the whole process. So, for example, some legal firms, they started using AI, and they covered insurance, which covered legal services. It was agreed as a part of, like stake. So the whole stake was covered. And in the UK, some insurance companies, they agreed to cover. Yet it is a very tricky question, because insurance companies right now, they are not ready. And maybe it is like new area for research and a new area for new insurance companies to appear, because for this particular, it is like a gap on the market which should be covered in some particular time. So this is good opportunities for new companies. Yet some insurance companies, they started, at least they are ready for discussion, I would say. So it is good progress from as far as I noticed it. It is very good progress. They at least discussing this issue.
Because I think what we will need is, as algorithms need to get better, insurance companies also need to get the algorithms get better, so they can price these uncertainties, much like they're pricing any weather event or any risk area on natural disasters and others. So it is really tricky, especially when looking into even the case where one of the self-driving cars of Uber had an accident and killed a passenger. It was a mess trying to figure out who was in charge of the car. Is the car in charge of itself, or is the person sitting next to the driver's seat because it was a test drive? Is that person responsible? Is the person who wrote the algorithm responsible, or is the company responsible? So there are so many layers of implications when you're actually creating something that is not tangible. And if for those of you who have watched the Social Dilemma documentary in Netflix, which was aired, I think, a couple of weeks ago, is, are the people in charge of algorithms in Facebook responsible from the election hack? So how are you going to do anything about that? Or it's not as simple as, oh, some company has lost its data. It's what matters when that data is lost and used against you. So we're going to keep responsible. So I think these are not just technical and technological problems, but also ethical questions, which is exactly in the realm of legal profession. So we were really happy to have a professional like Inna, the founder of Novi Nano, co-founder of Novi Nano Technology Lab. So we're very happy